I have
We
to open
hit
my
it.
document.
We're opening the window. There we go. Also, the first 2 episodes I recorded on Discord, on that I uploaded to YouTube today, are I didn't put in a source for my own mic, so you guys all have audio, but I
Oh,
don't.
weird.
Oh, that's funny.
Nice. That's actually how I prefer to play. I have you muted most times.
Don't blame you.
All right. I'm going to need a roll from Dr. Siegfried as we start a new day here.
Oh,
Just,
I rolled
your
last time, and I have the
Okay.
order. 7 days, right? We're going for a week.
7 days. Yes.
Okay. So it is in the order of days. The appearances are. So today was Siegfried, and then it goes Siegfried, Siegfried, Ileana, Ileana, Siegfried, Ileana, Ileana.
The fucking schedule right now.
Wow. It's a lot of flip flopping around. Um, as you guys spend your week here in this sort of unnaturally lush place, or at least unnaturally for most of you, you begin all experiencing this feeling. I would say Talum excluded, that it's clear the jungle doesn't want you here. After a couple of days, you start having tree branches fall where you're trying to walk. You'll have like a vine trip you where you didn't see one before. A couple of days later, and you start to see glowing eyes in the jungle around, stalking you. You don't risk walking more than a few feet from camp because you don't know what it is that might be, trying to keep an eye on you. As things progress, all the food you start eating starts making you feel sick. You're vomiting. You're becoming ill. It's as if the jungle itself is rejecting you, with Talum alone avoiding this fate. But still, it's a pleasant week. For some of you, maybe one of the most pleasant of your lives, even considering. And with that, I would like you all to tell me what you've done in this week of downtime that you had here. Aiken, you're first.
I was writing all that down. Super cool. Um, I would say that Aiken has been exploring with like the huntsmen and fishermen of the tribe and figuring out their approaches to not only the sea but like navigating the forest.
Sure.
And while doing so, just like incorporate the meta aspect of like gaining a second attack, their ways in combat, uh, and how to upgrade his bow with a natural environment. Looking for um, something that give assistance towards reinforcing his bow. Um, in like a druidic sense, right? So not like ripping apart the forest or cutting a tree down to get my own thing, but kind of just absorbing their culture.
Okay, very nice. Go ahead and roll me, I would say just a nature check for the week.
Get my dice out. That's terrible. Oh, 7.
Okay. The culture of these people is very different from anything that you've been familiar with in your time. And you try and learn a thing or two from them, but mostly the tabaxi, especially the fishermen, when they like watch you try and do something, they just like shake their heads. And when you like ask for further assistance in learning how to do it, they just act like you're incapable of doing it. You do pick up a couple of different techniques, and I will say that you have 1 rank in fishing now from your week.
Yes!
And over the course of the week, you do sort of broach the topic of your bow with him a few times. And I will say that they teach you a technique of harvesting electric eels with which you can augment your arrows.
Nice.
Though you do not have any currently, you do know how to do
I was
You
gonna ask
come up
something.
with stuff like that.
it.
Oh, how many ranks of fishing are there? How do I become a master fisherman? Because this is
You
just at the forefront of my brain.
you think that a very good fisherman would probably be rank 5 fishing. The best fisherman in the world is probably rank 9 fishing. Rank 10 fishing would make you the best fisherman in the world, you think. There are ranks, there are seemingly infinite number of ranks of fishing, but diminishing returns at a point.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if Aiken would like fish. As in. Anyways,
I don't know. You tell me. I don't...
I'll think about that.
Okay. I'll say that yeah, a lot of their fishing is done, obviously very sustainably. So you appreciate that. A lot of it is like fishing in sort of uh I forget what you'd call like a fish farm almost that they've like set up, and they have like these like different oyster nets that are like self-populating, and it's never like they're cutting into the native population. It's like they're helping the population expand, and in that expansion getting food from it as
An additional question. Considered the following. How does Proteus fit into this? My dog.
Yeah, I'll say that Proteus, it was pretty hesitant at first, especially in the water, but you get him pretty familiar with it, and he actually ends up being, pretty integral to your fishing techniques, and you're extremely obedient, which helps. So, if you were to need something from the water, he can fetch it, pretty readily for you, and you've trained him to swim quite proficiently.
Nice. Cool. Like
Right.
it.
Next up, Father T.
Well, first things first, I'm going to find either Eliana or Dr. Siegfried and ask if I can borrow some of their tinkering tools. Because being able to use them, do not own any in my current state.
Okay.
Well, that depends. Who do you ask?
Well, I plan on tinkering every single day, so I guess both.
Should I just Siegfried is very much not into sharing his to him precious tools. Ileana doesn't really care.
Fine. Fair enough. Uh, I'm on the days when I have access to tools, I'm gonna try and repair my staff a little bit. I overused it, overutilized it a bit before, and here I
Mhm.
might have done some damage to the machinery. So I'm gonna try and fix it, and that's basically how I'm gonna, level up is by improving this object. And then I guess on the days I don't, uh, I'm I'm gonna talk to some of the Tabaxi about their culture on this island and try and find out more.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a tinkering check for the first one using your, I'd say, dexterity modifier as well as your proficiency, and then for the second one, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Dexterity for the first one you said, plus proficiency, so 21.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you are able to make several augmentations to your staff. Uh, it's definitely still not a finished product, but you feel like it's more efficient than it was in the task that it does without giving away too much.
Fantastic. And then an insight check for the second one. It's
Hmm.
not very good. They do not like me very much. Um, 9.
Okay. Talking to them, especially about their culture, they tend to have like brief and not overly instructive answers. I guess I would say they usually answer your questions respectfully without giving too much information away, and it seems like that like their culture and how they came to be here and what life is like for them is like a well kept secret almost. Like it's very important to them that they don't just go and tell anyone.
That's
But you
all
have
I've
some
got.
pleasant conversations.
That's all I've got for the week. My
All
only
right.
plan.
Next goal. I think I'm still going in alphabetical order.
There we go. Goal is going to maybe pay attention to what's going on, especially whatever Taylor does. For the most part, he's going to take this time as peace and quiet, and he's going to take time to kind of settle into a regimented day where he trains. Um, so he's going to earn the ability to have the extra attack. He earns key points and a couple of other abilities. So he's going to train during that week to say that's kind of building up to that. Studying the sword, learning to be more proficient with the sword. And also, he's going to spend a couple hours a day doing calligraphy and practicing his art of the way of the brush.
All right.
So it's going to be a kind of a very Japanese-esque disciplined week for him.
Great. Go ahead and roll me a percentile die.
Roll a 70 and a 10. So was that 71?
70 flat. Or, well, oh, yeah, 71. 70 and 10.
Okay.
I guess. Well, no, I was right the first time, I think. Yes, 70. Because if you roll a 1, it would be 71. So it's 70. And I'll say that, yeah, the week is relatively successful for you. You spend a lot of time, training, centering yourself, focusing on, improving while still grasping, the teachings that you've been taught. And I will say that you do spend some time sparring with some of the locals who are adept in their own form of swordplay. And you do learn a thing or two about the way that they maneuver their, in combat and whatnot. In particular, fighting with a sword in one hand and a net in another. And you're now proficient with using a net as an offhand.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so you can use your second attack to attempt to restrain someone.
I have if I take light of him learning that skill, I kept that paralysis net from that ship that we fought that dropped the net on us. I'll just give it to him if it looks like he knows what he's doing. At some point,
there you go.
There you go. So it's like a paralytic net, I guess. Has paralysis barbs on it or something.
What exactly are the features?
Like the mechanics? I don't know. Honestly, I just wrote paralysis net or something. Paralytic net. I don't even know if paralytic's a word actually.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it is. Yeah. When is this? When was this that happened?
So remember when the two dirigible ships were flying real low and we were talking to the gnome or the halfling, and then they tried to capture us and they dropped the net from one of the ships, and I managed to cut part of it, and then I think Goal managed to cut the rest of the paralytic net off of the ship.
Third session, I took it with I believe, if you need a number.
Okay.
Thank you. Perfect. I have not used it.
Oh, yes. I see. Okay. So the net can paralyze people, but it needs to be charged to do so, which you would have to figure out how to do.
Okay. But it's a net without the charge. It's just a net.
Yes.
Now. Okay.
It has these
if
barbs
we learn how to charge it.
Yes, need some sort of electrical flow to them.
Gotcha. Okay.
You might have
so
some
Dan,
allies
if you want
who
to
could
add that,
help out.
Yeah, if you want to add that to your list, Dan, I'll erase it from mine.
All right, and I'll say during that week I also learned to use it, and I'm going to fashion it into the right kind of size, and I'm sure more than just a net, I probably need to have it set up to where I've got a couple handholds, and maybe even I don't know if it's even got a post inside of it to where it holds it open on one side. So when I'm holding it, it's not just like this limp net. I don't know. I'll fashion it into some kind of appropriate weapon-esque type of setup.
There are a number of weights already on the edges, and then basically you fashion a center, not like a pole, but sort of that's sort of a handhold for the net in the center.
Yeah. Okay. And if I need to do any kind of attunement to it to learn it, then I would work towards that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't require attunement, but you are attuned, so to say, without using an attunement slot.
Sure.
All right. At which point, Dr. Siegfried? Yes.
So I'm going to have many small tasks. So
Okay.
prepare yourself for a lot of task related things here. Okay, so
Okay.
first of all, as I level up, there is one of my artificer infusions. I can mimic or I can create a magic item of a certain rarity. One of which being the cap of water breathing. And I was wondering that if I were to take this, if I could modify it to breathe inside of the bag of holding when it runs out of oxygen, or if it would be explicitly used for water purposes. I have the description if you would like me to read it.
Sure.
While wearing this cap underwater, you can speak its command word as an action to create a bubble of air around your head. It allows you to breathe normally underwater. This bubble stays with you until you speak the command word again. The cap is removed, or you are no longer underwater.
I would say you could attempt to augment it, but it does not, immediately do this.
Inherently do it. That is fine.
Go ahead and roll a tinkering check for that.
I will do so. Not great. Is that intelligence or plus my proficiency with tools?
Intelligence and proficiency would be good.
Plus 7 is going to be a 9.
9. You in one day are not able to do it. Would you like to spend another day doing it?
I would, but here's something else I would like to do. In the meantime of that day, you sent me a list of spells that I could take a look at from, I believe, Kobold Press is the third party. One of which being the spell Tireless, which is one action for a first level spell a day, which I can very much can handle. I am granted machine-like stamina, and I don't require food, drink, or rest, and I can move at 3 times my normal speed and perform 3 times the usual amount of labor.
Okay.
So that is also what I would like to be doing every single day for 7 days.
Okay, so you are just whipping around, not
Yes.
eating,
21
just
days.
focused on your work.
Don't need to eat. I hear the foods making people sick. I'm like, don't care. Don't need to eat anyways.
Not a problem. Go ahead and roll 2 more rolls to that first day then, as you are moving at 3 times the speed.
Shit. The second one is going to be a 5 plus my 7 is going to be 12, and then my third one is going to be 24.
Okay, so it takes you the entire first day working at 3 times speed as you're working to try and figure out how exactly to manipulate this device to make it work in such a way. And it basically ends up with you needing to develop like a storage tank with like filled with water that this will like funnel and allow you to breathe or on your back. And yeah, so it takes you a day, but you do get it done. So can't be too sad with that.
Do I get like the tank and everything done, or do I just come to the conclusion that I need that?
You've completed it. You
Okay,
haven't.
cool. So that means that when I am when Siegfried is around, I will be within the bag of holding as sort of like in a secretive workshop of my own design. So it's my own sort of dimensional space. I have all the room here I need.
Sure.
And then I will be attempting to. Oh, I had things. I had things planned. Um, I can't remember any of them. Um, I will be attempting to, from the uh, from the food that is making people sick, I will have like stolen the random bits of that, and I will attempt to cast Purify Food and Water on the piece of food to see if it is an inherent poisoning substance or a disease.
It is, yes. It is like essentially poisoned.
Great. With that, I will attempt to when I filtered out the food, I'm going to attempt to make a poison out of the poison food.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have alchemist supplies to attempt to make poison as well.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and roll for your alchemist supplies. I'll say it'd be a wisdom plus your proficiency.
That's all good. That is only going to be an 11.
Okay. So you have harvested whatever it is that is sort of inherent to a lot of the plant life here. Initially, you just did it from the food, but you just got a very small amount. But you actually found that this seems to be present all throughout the plant life here. You think it could potentially be in some way connected to the fact that it is resilient in this climate where most people need to be nomadic. There's like extreme heat waves, extreme cold. It could have something to do with that. You're not sure, but you have extracted a good amount from like many of the surrounding plants, but you've still not properly weaponized it. If you'd like to keep working,
Um, I will come back to it if necessary.
okay.
I understand whatever, and then maybe that's the second day. I will spend the rest of my time, 3 times capacity, working with the egg mold and the phoenix, or the chimera infusion that I
Mm-hmm.
got from the kobold to see what's that. What's that? If it not me, but Siegfried and Ileana are going to work on it, and then me as a character is going to hope they understand it. I
Yes.
can't even begin to process like what I would look for because I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
scientist, so I don't know.
Are you going to try to use it?
Presumably, if I would reckon it safe, or not necessarily safe, but just not a waste.
You don't think it's waste. You don't think it's safe either, though.
That's fine. I meant if I meant not a waste of materials.
Okay, roll me a percentile die.
Oh, that's fun. Straight for the gamble, boys. All right. What is that again? What are dice? I don't remember. A 63.
63. Okay, in the first day, you have read through and begun understanding the arcane elements of this spell. It is intricate, to be sure, and it's something that you could not set up on your own. It's going to require a large empty room where you're able to lay out a series of inscriptions and runes. Different magical components will be necessary, but I'll say the first day you are able to understand how to do the spell, but it takes you all day working 3 times speed.
Okay. Um, am I
So that was your
able
third
to
day.
4 more days, 3 times speed, able to understand what components I will need and what the runes are and whatnot? Like if I need anything to collect until I
roll
can
for
make this thing.
roll for the fourth day here. Another D100.
D100 percentile 33.
Okay, you start going down this rabbit hole this day, and you're putting it together, and it's almost this weird aspect of really high level math from the magocracy, things that you're not familiar with at all, but you're delving into it, and you're almost in a way like solving equations, like mathematical symbols and all of these interconnected workings, and you finish and it doesn't add up. You've made some mistake. You have no idea when in the process. You haven't figured it out.
Hmm.
You want to spend another day doing it?
Absolutely. And I'm going to
No.
like disheveled, not shower, have the hair sticking up, and I'm just like, I need answers.
Okay, another D100.
90.
Ooh, 90. All right. With that, I will say that you have solved the spell in its completion. You are confident now that you know all of the components as well as the runes necessary and could, without a doubt, do the ritual tomorrow if you wanted.
Can I do it tomorrow?
If you'd like to, yes. This would be your 6th day, I believe.
All right, everybody, it's just showtime. Yeah, I will absolutely do that. Running on 5 days in a row or 5 nights in a row with no sleep, magic speed out of my mind. I'm
Yep,
going to attempt this.
no problem. Do you have anyone help you, or do you just try and do it all on your
I will have the voices in my head first of all. Secondly,
own?
I will have my steel defender help with
Uh,
manual anything, like in case I need just another hand. Otherwise, I will not ask for anybody's help, but I also will not turn it down if given the opportunity.
right. Go ahead and roll me another
Is
D100 for that day. Oh, yes, Father T.
are you like clearly working on something, or are you like
So you can see that Siegfried is not hiding this, not going within the trees. Also, because I just want to stay away from the trees in general. So I just want to walk out into the open, sort of like when a child needs help but isn't willing to ask for it. So they'll just. So I'm going to do it in the open, hoping you all notice me.
Siegfried? It looks like you're working on something important there.
I've solved it. I have not slept for 5 days.
Well, that is the perfect mood to be experimenting in.
Do you recall the pieces of information we got from the kobold, from with the egg? I have
About
solved.
growing a dragon.
Not well, yes, but no. I have solved the creation of life through magic means.
That sounds like a very dangerous road to be treading down.
Yes. Would you like to help?
I don't approve of this, but I will help you to make sure that this is done properly.
I would appreciate that help.
I'm going to take interest. I'll just say I happen to be around and see what's going on, and go. Going to walk up.
Okay.
What exactly are you all doing?
Magic, goal. Magic. It's
Mm.
wonderful.
It looks like a bunch of guys drawing little circles and things on the ground to you, Goal.
Where is
Oh,
this happening at?
In the center of the village, apparently.
Yeah, in front of all the Tabaxi villagers as well, in case any of them want to join.
They do
so
not.
that's why that piques my interest because they're writing, and then quite an interest in calligraphy and the discipline arts of
Goal!
writing. And
That reminds me. You can see Golem little cracked out right now. Goal! Um, look, writing, right? And in the dirt, I'm gonna like sort of step away from the project itself, and I'm gonna write in Orcish. I'm gonna say, "Hello, Goal." It's very simplistic, but I'm gonna show him I've learned Orcish.
I also read Orcish, but I'm not gonna let on.
uh,
Valentine's like, no, I do to speak it, but I will not tell you about this.
I do not recognize the markings.
You have from the lineage.
He's a human, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just human.
I'm mistaken. I have not imagined you as human this entire game.
Oh, really?
Are you sure? You double checked? You're not a half orc?
I'm kind of sure.
Is anybody here a half orc? Just gonna run that in case I need to.
No.
No?
No,
Cool.
I don't think so.
So,
Well,
anyways,
Tony's a Genasi, right?
yeah, I speak
But
primordial. He's a half elf. I could have
That's,
sworn that dude was greener the first time you showed us that picture. I could have sworn it.
I still love this picture. I think it's cool as shit.
It is a nice picture.
No, that's what he looks like. So, what language did you write it in again?
Are you not? Are you not in a orc? Are you not related to the orcs in any way?
Mm. No, my friend.
My mistake. Say, would you like to help us with an experiment?
Now I am very curious. Yes.
See, that was to get your attention. And then I'm gonna, I don't really know what this takes, but I'll assign them to tasks if necessary.
Okay. I need anyone helping to roll a percentile die, please.
I'm going to be awkwardly interested.
I'd like to help if I can reassure the village people in any way. Do you know what I mean? Like if
Why are they doing the YMCA?
Yep.
just to make sure that nobody's like.
I mean, they
freaking
look
out.
pretty concerned as to what's
Yeah.
happening here.
I guess I would like to know what's happening too.
50, 51.
51.
93.
Oh, baby.
What
Okay.
are we expecting to happen here? As Talum says you're throwing in the dirt.
Talum,
What is the goal?
what is that old adage you have told me many a time, especially recently? Trust me?
No harm is to come to these village people, no?
Only harm to myself, I assure you.
Talum would not like to see that either.
Well, probable harm, not definite. We'll see.
I'll do what I can to keep the other tabaxi calm. And I'll just like if anyone seems super alarmed, like those higher ranking tabaxi, I'll probably just talk to them and be like, he has done these things before, it is normal. It is his intentions are always good.
In Undercommon, which I've recently worked out through our time in the underground, I will look over to Tabaxi and say in like this horrible, grotesque, guttural language, be like, everything is okay here. In a language they probably don't understand.
Correct. They're just like staring at you and going about their daily lives, like, okay. Talum's reassurance does significantly help them to not be as freaked out. What was your percentile die there, Dr. Siegfried?
Oh, I roll one as well.
Yes.
I never rolled mine. What's a 00 mean? Is that 1 through 10?
Yes.
A 00 and a 4 is 4, right?
Yes.
Cool. Not 400.
No. You have you have everything like clicking into place. Goal is like intricately carving these different runes on the ground. Father T is immensely good at this. You're amazed in the fact that he doesn't seem all that classically trained, but or at least from what you've understood so far. But it's clear that he must have had some like high level of education at some point in his life. He's like very like pragmatic about this. He's like he aligns all his characters very well. He writes extremely clearly. Uh, he even like a couple of times you like make like little mistakes and like Father T will like come and like correct them for you and things. Doing very well. Meanwhile,
It
you not
enrages me
sleeping.
inside, and I'll go, oh, thank you.
Meanwhile, it seems like you not sleeping in a long time has caught up to you as rune after rune you make a mistake. You kind of like kick one and you like move the dust over top of it. You end up like slipping and falling on one that you were trying to like can't think of the word.
Engrave or inlay.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with one of those. I don't know what I was going for. As you're trying to do that, you like fall on top of it, breaking it, and you single-handedly prevent yourselves from doing this ritual today. Unfortunately,
So I'm gonna say, like tripping and falling. I'm gonna be like the overbearing father that thinks his kid's always gonna fall, and I'm gonna be like going to catch him, but then stopping and realizing that he's autonomous and needs to do his own thing. And I just keep like he's like making me more and more nervous as he keeps fucking around and tripping over shit, and I'm like, oh.
yeah, he just like seems drunk all day. It's not good.
With a 93 I rolled for my percentile.
Mhm.
I've had certain revelations over the last week as I've been pondering the limits of arcane magic. And I assume this is based in the arcane. Can I get some like insight into whether like whether we're pushing the limits of the natural by doing this, if that makes sense.
Oh, you are
Like whether
way
we're
beyond the pale of the natural here. This is
are, are we like corrupting the natural flow of magic?
maybe not the natural flow of magic, but this is certainly, in your estimation, not what the gods would have wanted when they gifted arcane magic to people. This is a corruption of the utmost, and in the utmost. It is a form of disrespect to the creation of the gods to attempt to make life of your own. The Majography that does this kind of shit all the time. I mean, this is why you hate them.
That's very unfortunate. After
It's true.
after it
No.
has failed, once everyone has slowly sort of crept away, I'm gonna like draw lines through all the circles and stuff, and just sort of vandalize it to make sure.
Portage it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you try and do it in a way that's like not obvious, or do you just like destroy it?
Not obvious. I don't care if there's backs facing me, but like not obvious specifically to Dr. Siegfried.
So I mean, you do so. You feel, that you have disrupted it significantly. So this was the 5th day of your week. Is that right, Doctor Siegfried? Or is that 6th?
I believe that was the 6th. Despite me
Okay, so
wanting more days, I have to be honest with myself.
so this would
Immediately
be the
after people like sort of give up, I'm taking off. So even if he does disparage my work, I'm not gonna see it. I gotta go run it again, practically like a practice test in my notebook.
Okay.
Siegfried's not gonna be around tomorrow, and he knows it. And he knows it's like his last chance for that because they're gonna have to take off the next day on a boat, and you don't want to do it on the water. It's irresponsible.
You
Not
do think
level,
that
yeah.
you need a very stable surface.
Yeah.
You like having to control the temperature and air pressure to do this properly. Like this is a very specific and precise spell.
So I am going to take all night to sort of help myself in the morning. Anything I can possibly do. Because I'm
Okay.
going to run it again one final time tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, you get yourself as good of an estimation as you can here in your 3 times speed, working like an absolute workhorse.
On the 7th day, I do not rest. Although I am playing God.
Right. Okay.
And I'm going to
So
come over and back to my circles and realize they're all fucked up. I'll go back to square one. Go back to formula.
Right. Are any of the other guys pitching in today? Father T, are you intentionally sabotaging this?
I'll watch, and if it looks like he's getting too close, I'll just like thaumaturgy a breeze to like blow some dust around or something.
Bastard.
Okay. What
You
goal are
Grinch.
you helping out today?
Goal. I'm going to ask for a little bit more explanation of why the repetitiveness.
Well, when we receive that sort of formula and whatever it is from that kobold, it seems like something to sort of create a life, or manipulate it in some way. Even I don't understand it, but there is one. This is the only positive thing that can come from us being marooned here on this island for a month, not a month, a week, and it's just been a very distressing time for myself and for Dr. Siegfried, whom has written to me at great length about the issues that has been taking place within his own mind. And, well, we just really need to win this one. It's complicated and requires a lot of double checking, as all good science does. It's like math.
Perhaps someday you will explain to us your relationship and the apparent shapeshifting the two of you do. But not today. Today, we are creating.
Great. Yes, agreed. Whew,
Okay.
perfect.
The two of you roll percentile dice.
Could I have my steel defender aid in this as well?
I'm assuming he is aiding you.
Okay.
This is like a 5-man project. You're working for 3 men.
Alright, sounds
Your steel defender's working and Goal's working.
Cool.
Your role is
88%.
most important by far. What was that goal? Sorry?
88.
88?
Come on, come on. 51?
Okay.
That's a coin flip, maybe?
I will say, Father T, it gets to be about noon, 1 p.m. You're like fiddling with your staff, and it looks like there's a chance they might get it done today. You're going to attempt to disrupt it?
Yeah, as subtly as possible.
Roll a sleight of hand. Roll perception checks, the other two of you.
Can I roll in for my steel defender as well?
Sure.
'Cause he's kind of a guard dog. That's basically what he's best at.
13.
I rolled a 13 on perception.
I got a 4, and my steel defender got a 14.
Okay. So only the steel defender notices as all of a sudden you hear this as it's like trying to get your attention, and you're looking over as like you're like carving the last bit, and he like is rapidly pointing to Father T as you see this gust of wind destroy a portion of the work that you've done.
Thank you, Mac. Father, could you explain to me what that disruption was all about?
I'm sorry.
Goal! Goal, he has ruined this process we've been working on.
Whoa. I saw the wind,
And
Yes, it's a very breezy day.
but
it's
A
not.
sea
Yeah.
breeze. It is a dangerous place to be doing intricate work such as this.
No, because Siegfried and I ran the calculations. We know at this specific time, at this specific date, things are supposed to be okay. It was all supposed to, and Mac here saw you, and he told me. He does not have the capacity to lie. You do.
My friend, I'm not a liar.
I disagree. Will you please
Well,
let me attend to my work?
By all means. Continue.
Without interruption. Or sabotage.
perhaps this is getting a little out of hand.
It wasn't, though. It was all fine until other people got on their weird moral high ground and decided to once again destroy something that I'm trying to work towards.
Whoa. I'm going to be like awkwardly on my heels. I'm going to be like, well, we saw the wind. We know that you're excited and anxious for this to happen. You haven't slept much, and
Go, look at him.
obviously your thingy there made a bunch of beeping noises, but
Father T, if you may,
might be
look Gold directly into the eyes and say that you did not intentionally destroy my and his work. Go on, look.
I've like laid down at this point and I'm taking a nap in the sun. I've got like my hat pulled over my face.
So I'm not...
there. You see, he's too tired to put any effort into it. Maybe everybody just needs to get some more sleep.
Go on ahead then.
Well, I kind of meant you, but
There's time for sleep. It's not right now. See, there are only a couple of things that I want in life, Goal. And this is one of them. One of probably 3 things that I would ever want in my life. And you all decided against one of those other things, so please just let me have this one. Please?
what? This is I'm even more intrigued now. What is it you expect to see happen that is the pinnacle of your life?
Through this formula,
Specifically, please.
I expect some sort of scientific breakthrough that is very least never seen maybe once or twice before in the entirety of the world. What I believe, what I believe will happen is to create an empty vessel of a being.
Hmm.
That is what I want to happen. That is what I hope happens. But right now it's just a theory. Everything's a theory in life, but I've done the numbers on this.
What do you hope to do with this vessel?
I have I've been plagued with something that I've never wanted. I've had life forced into me without my consent. And I want to take that out.
I think this goes towards the question I asked before, doesn't it? Tell me more. Convince me to help you, and I will. Don't think about it, just say it.
Siegfried and I are very different people, and yet constantly I hear his thoughts intertwined with my own. And without my control or say, or his even, one day I'll wake up as another person. I have no control. I take a back seat. I can see nothing. I can remember nothing. And I come to with amnesia of any sort of events, which is exactly how I got in this predicament to begin with. All I know is that there are some things that I inherently am good at, skills that I know that I don't know how I learned. I'm a scientist, and a damn good one. And Siegfried's a doctor, an amazing one. But I don't know if we were two separate people who got put into one, or one person split into two, or any combination of both. All I know is I woke up, and I was on the surface, and there was both of us, and the only one responsible for our survival was us. We worked in tandem. I stood up for him when things needed to be taken care of. He kept us alive and was honestly most responsible. Without the writers, we'd be dead. Without you guys, we'd be dead as well. All I want is to get rid of my worst nightmare. And that is having someone shove themselves into, occupy what is rightfully mine, my own territory, my own body, my own mind. Does that answer your question?
Well, maybe the usual vagueness, but it is it is a curious thing because you don't occupy the same body. You occupy the same space, maybe even the same space in your head, but it is interesting. I wonder which of you came first.
I wonder as well. I don't know if we were two artificial minds brought together or two beings brought together. All I know is that my shape can change, and I have no control over that. I don't know if I was originally somebody else, changed against my will, but that's what happens 50% of the time. Now, what I can promise you, well, let me ask you, who's generally friendlier and better to be around the majority of the time? Me or Dr. Siegfried?
I'm going to look like I'm uncomfortable to answer this question. Well, Dr. Siegfried is less aggressive, but I would say less agreeable. You are more agreeable, perhaps more charismatic, but harder to trust due to the way you speak. Very vague. You would have survived well in the city as a politician for sure.
Well, let me
But
tell you something with absolutely no vague aura around it. That Siegfried, that alternate ego of mine, it's like two sides of a coin. I am rational, thoughtful, intelligent, and he's intelligent, but he's not good. He's not even moral. He's written to me in great detail what I think are his own supposed evil ramblings about wanting to double double cross you guys and build that mechanism for the raiders that will result in the city being blown up.
perhaps that is something you don't want to tell us.
I would want to tell you. Me right now. And we can finish this right now. We can never have that other person quietly plotting against you all when you aren't listening.
Mm. You know what I would do with someone plotted against me?
What's that?
Nothing good.
Which is precisely what
What
I
happens
have planned.
after Siegfried goes away?
I'm not sure. But there's no way to know.
So what do we have to do to create this vessel?
Whatever you're doing is great. Mac over there, my partner, is doing great. I'm doing great. But as I mentioned before, there was third-party interference from that subtle breeze that ruined it all. And this might be our next chance in a while to stop it.
Well, I don't know what to expect, but I'm not one to hesitate. I say we do it, and if it can bring you good by offloading Dr. Siegfried, then perhaps it's for the greater good, especially as he is as devious as you're suggesting.
The moniker of mad scientist doesn't begin to cover what he has planned. This, and I will unsheathe my magical rifle off my back. This is a product of his own design.
Well, we will all have some questions for him, no doubt.
But even this, even if we get rid of him, it doesn't solve everything that I have going for me. I still don't know where I came from. I don't know why I was created. I don't know who I really am. But this is
And
one step closer.
most beings on these lands have a right to survive and to exist. Some do not, and they get dispatched with, but I'm not so quick to take out anyone, especially on an emotional level, but questions need to be asked. I will help you if I can.
You hear that, Father? Do you finally understand my cause, or do you wish to continue your swage of this whole experiment?
I don't respond as I am still pretending to nap.
Father, as you've heard from my, I'm like aware that he's laying there and looks like he's napping, but I'm
Oh
going
no,
to.
yeah, I'm not a good actor, but I'm committed.
Like you could 100% be asleep right now, but I'm continue speaking just to clear the air here. I'm gonna say, Doctor, if you've been listening like I suspect you have, nope. Father, as you've been listening like I suspect you have been, I will. If you interfere again, I'm going to shoot you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody's shooting anyone.
Go, then what do we do if he decides to interfere in this process again? This could be our only time to rid this evil that we have left.
Well, I'm not willing to hurt another in the party. And I
And
do think what I said earlier holds a little sway. You have been without sleep for a long period of time, and you are perhaps emotionally charged.
am I emotionally charged? Yes, but that's only because I'm a person.
Well, you can be a person, but you're not going to be a person that kills one of my friends. Not if you want to remain my friend.
Every second that I'm housed with another being that I don't want to be with is an infinity of torture that you don't understand. This is my worst nightmare. My mind is my most powerful tool, and someone else has access to it, is exploiting it for his own selfish means, for his own destructive means. So what I'm saying is, even if it goes against the Father's beloved beliefs, I am desperate. I am in a desperate bid to get rid of this.
That's my point. Perhaps some time of rest and meditation prior to such a obviously delicate procedure would be more appropriate. Emotionally based actions and decisions are they're no good.
So
You should
you are
consider.
to say you are a 100% logical human being? You make all of your decisions without any emotion?
I make this decision today logically and without emotion. And I'm going to turn away. And as I'm facing away, I'm going to say, consider what I've said.
Right. I will say with that, Ilyana, try as you might, you are not able to, with already having failed once today, get it up and running by the end of the day. And we can finally move to Taylum. What have you been doing this week? This is the great. I should do this like once every couple months. I just don't have to DM for a session. I just sit back and listen to you guys talk.
I do think it is an interesting concept to do like long stretches of downtime because like your character can like it kind of evolve as a character over that time. It's kind of neat actually. It's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I was excited.
So I think Taylum like almost immediately, maybe by day one or something or day two, will just like sort of like maybe change in a way, like the roughness, the rough edges and the flexing muscles and the angry scowl like begins to fade rather quickly, and like maybe the rest of the party notices that like that why is Dan laughing?
I don't
Did
know.
I miss a text or something?
I'm sorry.
You're good, man.
It's a text from my friend's wife who's in Florida, and they sent a picture of Elvira. You remember Elvira?
Yeah.
And I guess the other pictures are like this old woman. I guess she's like old. And I responded, I'd still do her. Wife responded with this, bruh. Sorry.
Nice. No, you're good.
It's hysterical. I just don't feel the mood. I'm so sorry.
No, dude, you're fine. Last time you were all laughing, and I didn't realize I had said monster meat, so I thought like I had said something again. Like I was really afraid that I said something stupid.
Well, I was
So,
gonna comment because while Jolyn was over your shoulder, you had this penis-looking thing, and you were like holding it.
oh,
But I chose to take the higher ground. But now,
thank you. Yep.
all right,
Yep.
all right. So, I'm sorry. Let me mute.
You're good, dude. So I guess Talon will probably like the first or second day that you guys are there, he'll kind of like just drop his guard essentially, and the roughness around his edges and stuff kind of begins to fade, and you can kind of see that day by day. And I don't know if I have to roll anything for it or not, Logan, but I think Talon would do his best to try to fit in with the tribe and like get to know the people and like learn how to like work the land and like do those types of things. Like be like I think Talum has in his mind that like this could be his home, and he wants to do his best to fit in there. And if he is successful in doing that, like he like stops carrying his axe. Maybe like the second or third day, his axe is like leaning up against the cottage that he's staying in, and by the third or fourth day, the axe is like under the bed, like it's like not even around. Like the furs that you see him wearing and all these weapons he used to carry like are kind of gone. And there are times you see him just like sitting with his eyes closed, like soaking up the sunlight. I don't really know how safe it is there, but
It's
I
fairly
would
safe.
imagine Talum feels like super at home.
I mean, for you, it's
I mean,
definitely the safest you've been ever. So
yeah, and I think after a couple of days, you guys can see that like on his face, and almost like you see his age. You realize like how old he probably is, and he probably appears older than he actually is too, simply because he's had such a rough life, like such just a grueling like scraping by, and now he's like finally able to like rest, like fully rest. And I think Talem wants to know like how Callie's doing while she's there as well.
hmm. Yeah, I'll say that you definitely don't have to roll anything for this. Taylor makes himself at home and feels at home immediately. Um, I will say that around your third or fourth day there, an a very elderly looking tabaxi who seems to be usually like taken care of by the others. He's old enough to where he's not really able to participate in the work of the land anymore. Uh, you've mostly seen him like lounging and just relaxing all he can. He stands up and walks over to you, which is an extremely rare sight in this village. Something that definitely you haven't seen him do probably since you've arrived. And he like looks you up and down and says, "They call you Telu, is that right?"
This one is Talem. Yes.
"Have you heard the story of your people?"
I do not know.
Eons ago, our people had a place away from here, in a land not connected to the lands of men and elves. We lived in harmony with the land, as we do now. It was perfection. But there was a time when the other races needed testing, and a council called themselves Xenopus made our homeland a plaything. They sent those other races to live with us, to conquer us, to prove themselves. It was a long time of servitude and second-class citizenry for us. They were hard years, hard decades. When the council started running out of ideas for how to show these people what they needed to know, they sucked the magic from the air, made people live like they once did. Harsh lives, without the gifts that had been given to them, the way we live. Eventually, this brought a group of individuals who finally realized the faults in the way they were living, finally sought to prove that there was still some good in the human races. I see some of that good in your friends. But once this was decided, the world was made anew with our homeland connected to it. Though the council felt shame in what they had done to our people, and they gave us this, our homeland, green and lush, and ever since it has been so, unmarred by the outer world, uninhabitable to those who want tabaxi. Still it stays through the wars of the eons, through ages long past of fire, water, and air. Our homeland stands alone. This is the place that was given to us, a place made for us, our original homeland. It is good for you to know that. And he, without waiting for a response, hobbles back to his chair and sits.
Yeah, Talem just kind of absorbs that. Close that door. One's walking around in her underwear. Yeah, Talum kind of absorbs that, and it probably influences his next few days as well. The other thing Talum would like to do is he's proficient with cooking. He'd like to really hone that skill. I'm assuming there's probably an abundance of different plants, and I don't know if they eat animals here or not. If they they eat fish, it seems like.
Yeah, they do eat animals.
Okay, yeah. Talon would like to, as much as he can, other than relax, almost like he's on a paradise vacation. He would like to learn how to cook the way that the Tabaxi cook. He would like to teach them some of the things that he learned over his time. He wants to cook for his friends, and most importantly, if he sees that the food is making them sick, he wants to find a way that the food is palatable. He used to be able to make monster meat taste palatable and good, and he would find ways to make it so that it was edible, because eating the meat from a beholder or whatever can kill you probably. So finding ways to remedy that is super important, and that's what he wants to do. And yeah, so and then there's a couple other little things other than that.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d20 plus proficiency using your I would say
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It was canted on a 12 and then it went boop to a 1. It's a natural one.
All right. You attempt to make the food here, and the you're working with a couple of the tabaxi who typically prepare the meats. And as you start like mimicking them and attempting to like carve what is essentially like some small sheep that they had like killed in you guys' honor, like as like a feast for you. As you like start cutting into it, you immediately just completely stab into the vital portions of it, making it pretty much inedible. Um, and they aren't like mad at you, but they no longer allow you to like help in the like preparing food for the rest of the week. Uh, but I will say that as the week is like winding down and you've been observing them cook and things, you have picked up a thing or two in cooking, and you have gained 1 rank in cooking, and you receive a sort of like little sack filled with individually wrapped herbs and spices that they use in all of their cooking. It's a variety of different, foreign things to you. Salts and peppers and paprikas.
Okay. The other thing I want to do is like I want to see how Callie's fitting in on the island as well, and if she's like happy here or content here, if she's like retching and vomiting because of the the food, if she's just like dying, wants to leave, and I want to ask her like what she wants, like what her goal is, like where would she go after this? Because if she's happy here, like
Yeah. No, I'll say. I mean, it seems like she's fitting in very well. She seems very happy, especially with you when you're not, having to go into rages to, protect and kill things everywhere. Uh, she seems to like let loose a little bit more than you've ever seen her before, especially living in the wilds and all these like tough times you've been through. There's a lot that you still don't know about her. Like you had no idea where she was from. You had no idea what her life was like before she even met you. And you get like a few glimpses into that this week where she, seems to like let down another, wall, like another bit of herself that she's willing to, open up about to you. And I would imagine Taylor really sinks his teeth into that. So I think that you sort of start peeling away, these defenses that she has over the week, and you start having deeper conversations about like like your purpose, what are your goals, and it seems like a thing that Callie hasn't like spent a lot of time thinking about. Like her goal was always like run, escape, hide, don't die, stay alive, stay alive, don't get caught by the Driders who want to, make me one of them. And now it seems like she's sort of checked off all of the check boxes for what she really was striving for in her life, which is basically just freedom, the ability to do what she wants, which she's not even sure what that is, but that's what she wants to do. She wants to take a good long moment to figure out what it is that she really wants to do, and she seems to be having the beginnings of that here.
okay. The last thing that seemed really like I wanted to do like an actual task, and I don't know if this will work out now, but I was hoping the cooking would go better, but I was hoping
Sorry.
that on like the last night, no, it's not your fault. It's I was hoping that the last night I would be able, or the last day / night, I'd be able to kind of like get some of the tabaxi together and make like a feast, like a big feast. Since like we're leaving tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to make a big meal, or at least, and if I suck at cooking with them, then maybe I would just request that they, you know what I mean, and I'll help with what I can. That's why I didn't take part in the ritual, because I assumed that I'd probably be preparing this big meal for the night. And I'd like, if it's not edible, then that defeats the purpose. So I want it to be edible. I want them to not be poisoned.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll say that it may not be like you doing the cooking, but like it is with like your instruction and with you like working with their medicine people to try and make it as edible as possible. Go ahead and roll me just another d20 plus your proficiency modifier.
So that'll be 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
So in this case, you are having a much better time at working with them, and you're just being like a lot more generally careful. You had sort of a gruff way of cooking. Well, you had a gruff way of pretty much doing everything. So,
Yeah.
so this is kind of like, I wouldn't say a new leaf, but just a new way that you're approaching things, and the way that they take such care in the jungle around them and in the animals, that even like as they're preparing them to be eaten, they seem to have such respect for them, uh, and a little bit of that starts rubbing off on you, and it gives you a new appreciation for that aspect of cooking, like you know doing what you can to be happy for what you've been given, and make it as good as possible. And I'll say that, yeah, I mean, you're able to produce a nice feast for your friends, and also the tribe.
And that being said, I would invite them all to eat
Okay.
at this meal.
I will say we will pick up there with our role play, as all of us are sitting around this sort of large central area in the Tabaxi tribe, something that had only been done once previously on the first night that you were here. It's sort of, I don't want to say a ritual, but it has that sort of feel of, a special occasion. Let's say that. So you're all sitting around what is sort of this laid out tapestry that seems to have been woven from some of like the local herbs and things. It has this almost vibrant living aspect to it. You're not sure how they stunt the plants to look like they're still alive while being interwoven in this way, but they lay it before you, and they prepare all of these small bowls of different meats and fish, and uh, there's like a heavy emphasis on like seasoning of things. Everything seems to be seasoned like just so, like not too spicy, but it all has like the same level of intricate maneuvering of flavors, and every bite seems to add something that you didn't really taste with the bite before. It's quite the experience, though with a bit of awkwardness, as some of you are like staring each other down from across the table. um, I'll say the meal's about to start as the chief walks up and says, "This one is happy to see you all, and sad to see you all go. I am very happy that we were able to spend a week together, and it saddens me that this may be the last I see of you. I wish you all the best of journeys, the clearest of skies, and the best of waves. If you ever come back this way, you are all welcome to stay." And then he
Everyone
says,
thinks he speaks. Oh,
"Yeah, you're good."
interrupts the chief.
Yeah, right. And then he says in Tabaxi, "Let us eat." And then everyone else says, "Let us eat" in Tabaxi. Some of you have to like kind of fumble through the words. Other of you speak it fluently. Gold just like fucking drills it, like no problem.
Nice.
I will use my Steel Defender to attempt to cause a distraction, and I'm going to try to poison Father T.
Oh my god.
There you go. That's how
Okay.
go ahead and tell me to roll.
What exact sort of distraction are you attempting to cause?
He's gonna whiz and beep and spin around, and he's like gonna like seem like he's malfunctioning. He's gonna like slap one of the platters of food they have and like clang it, slap it upwards, and it's gonna clang against stuff, and it's gonna be loud, and he's gonna be like R2D2, like wow, like freaking the fuck out.
Okay. As he like hits the platter, you see Callie like instinctively catch it and like try and like get the food back together, and just like looks over to you. Father T, go ahead and roll a perception check with. I just roll a perception check and go ahead and roll a sleight of hand for me, Doctor Siegfried.
I'll fail, but that's okay because I would willingly fail this check anyways, since I
Okay.
wouldn't suspect.
4.
Okay, what did you roll, Father T?
Perception.
Yeah.
Uh, 9.
Okay. I mean, you definitely notice him like slip something into your food.
I'm gonna pour the vial of poison that I've previously extracted, and I'm gonna look him dead in the eyes, and I'm gonna go, seasoning.
I'll eat it.
One of the female tabaxi across the way like looks insulted and says, "This one thinks the food is perfectly seasoned already." Doesn't care what you're pouring in, but is very insulted that you think it needs more seasoning.
A little like bit of extra seasoning never hurt anyone. And I will
You're going to
eat
eat
it,
it, Father T?
fully aware that he just... She?
Yes,
Is it Siegfried or
she
Anna?
currently.
It is she.
That's
Sorry,
she.
I always go for Siegfried.
Just,
Okay.
Is anyone else aware that
Roll
this
up.
happened?
Roll a perception check. I mean, almost all of you are aware. He was not stealthy at all.
Yeah, true. I rolled
Got
a natural
4.
20 as well. So.
Okay, yeah, definitely know. I mean, if you roll above a 4, you're aware of
Yeah.
that's.
Good point. Good point.
Father T, go ahead and roll any Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god, Dan.
8.
8. Okay. The first bite of the food, immediately your eyes start watering, and you have, just a nerve reaction to spit it out. Do you eat it anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, you like gulp down the first 3 bites, and immediately start feeling ill. Do you continue eating?
I will cast Lesser Restoration on myself,
Okay.
which removes the poisoned condition. So
Yeah,
if
you
that
feel
helps.
fine immediately after that.
All right, and I will continue taking 3 bites, Lesser Restorationing myself, and
Okay.
so on until
It is still extremely unpleasant. I mean, you literally poison yourself and then cure yourself, and then poison yourself and then cure yourself. Like, there are times when you have to choke back vomit as you're eating, but then you Lesser Restoration yourself, you feel fine again. So
And I make
obviously he's,
no
suffering.
secret of the fact that I'm using spells to help me eat this food. I'm just very committed.
okay, I mean, you do, no doubt about it.
Father T, I don't really feel like it needed seasoning, but is that better? It doesn't seem like it is.
I prefer it the way Taylum cooks it. But it's always nice to try new flavors.
Are you sure? I mean, if you want mine, and
No, this will do.
perhaps to be
Ileana made this.
polite, I don't.
There is extra, please. Like, somebody else holds up a different bowl too as well.
This is good. Ileana went to all that trouble of adding the seasoning for me, and so I will.
Dear
Finish this
Lord,
dish.
you guys, I poisoned him. Okay?
All the tabaxi look shocked. You hear some shocked gasps.
I look over at Father T. Is this true?
I can only assume so based on the way this food tastes.
And I Lesser Restoration myself again.
What did you just do? You just did something. What did you just do, Father T? I don't know what's involved with Lesser Restoration.
I think it's pretty
I,
involved. He's very openly casting a spell.
Just a little touch of power to remove the toxins from my body.
Why?
I'm gonna look back over at Ileana.
Because I don't want to be poisoned.
I'm looking at Ileana
You did.
when I say that.
You did. Didn't you?
Why would you do this?
Poison him?
Why would you poison your friend? Here, among friends, at a table we are the guests here, and you poison your own friend at dinner. Why do you do this?
I was joking.
I stand up and I draw my sword, and I'm gonna point it, or I'm gonna point it at her. And when I point my sword at someone, I'm able to identify their true identity.
Ooh, that's right.
Oh, you can.
Can
Oh,
you
you're gonna
tell
do
me,
the
please?
Moonlight.
You're gonna,
I would like to know as well.
so you're gonna do the moonbeam effect on him.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm gonna have a look on my face like I'm conflicted but extremely angry. Like I'm kind of
Okay.
shaking, and I look like I just want to run him through, but I'm not doing it yet. Her through.
Okay, that is very interesting.
Mm.
So you point this toward the figure standing in front of you, and this sort of bright moonlight shines from the blade, completely clouds him. Everyone kind of has to like avert their eyes, and then looking back, it shows the true form of this creature. And it is neither Dr. Siegfried nor is it Ileana. It is some sort of bipedal, slightly blue tinged humanoid. You have no idea what it is, but it's neither of them.
Am I the only one that's able to see that form?
No, everyone can see it.
Mm. Do any of us know what it is?
You can.
Taylor probably would not. Yeah.
I mean, you guys can roll history checks if you want to try to figure out what it is, but it's a doozy.
Yeah, Talem's not. I'm not even gonna roll. Like, he's not even interested in knowing really at this point.
I'm not cultured enough to have known that the way Gold grew up.
Would you roll, Father T?
19.
Okay, you also have no idea what this is.
I'm gonna look at the form, and I'm gonna say, "Tell me why I shouldn't kill you right now." And I'm gonna take a step forward in kind of a fencing stance, and I'm gonna run the tip even closer. I'm
Oh,
pointing right at the Adam's apple of the throat.
go.
Oh, Goal, there is no need for such hostility. It is only fair that, well, whoever this is poisoned me. I can accept my punishment.
I'm
There's
going
no.
to reach across the table, grab the food from Father T, eat it, and cast Lesser Restoration upon myself as well. He was ahead of me. That was the joke. Didn't know he could do that also.
Can I roll an insight check?
Sure.
Dirty 20.
Okay, were you lying, Ileana?
Do I have a chance to persuade or decept?
Yes.
Alright, I will roll against that then. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily lying. I was kind of she's making it up as she goes. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't believe that it was meant to be a joke, but now she's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it was just joking. All memes. She did have Lesser Restoration restored ahead of time, in case of a situation such as when I poisoned him, and then people would want to murder me for poisoning him, so that I could cure him and say it was a joke. So yes, the whole thing was a huge setup.
I will say that your moonbeam effect wears off, and you see Ileana standing there again.
Hmm.
I'm gonna look back at Father T. That is not what I say. What? You... Give me just 1 second.
Anybody know who he is? What it is?
It's like a doppelganger, right?
Oh.
I am as charged as a man can get before he acts. And I'm going to look back at Father T. She can't be trusted. How can you say that?
I believe there's some degree of good in everyone. There must be at least some bit of humanity between the two of them. And they deserve to exist just as much as you or I.
I'm going to sheathe my sword. And I'm going to walk up and I'm going to punch, if I can, Ileana right in the nose.
For an unarmed strike?
Yeah.
Huh, not a fan.
Deacon is kind of infatuated, or he was infatuated by the thought of it being a blue person. Could it have been like water ganassi, or
It
is
is
it like
definitely not a water ganassi.
Oh.
It is something very weird looking. Something that is not natural.
Gotcha.
Ileana, are you going to take it or are you going to dodge or fight back?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to get punched in the face. So it's you.
Okay, so roll to strike.
Yes.
Natural 20.
Okay. Go ahead and
I'm
roll damage.
just gonna bust her right in the face, and whatever she does, if she drops to a knee or whatever, I'm just gonna say, "You deserve a hell of a lot more," and I'm gonna walk off. I'm just gonna be disgusted and walk away from the table and everything. So that's 8 points of damage. I rolled pretty shitty.
Okay.
That's a pretty heavy punch, though.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
smoke her in the face for sure.
I'm disgusted.
8 points, yeah.
And put out by the distrust and the deceit, and I give her a good pop in the nose or a fat lip, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't like I was, trying to cave her face in, but I was definitely.
You might have accidentally succeeded in that though.
A little bit.
As soon as he turns
You
around,
say you're walking away, Cole?
yeah, as soon as he turns around, I'm gonna flick a switch on the side of my gun, cast branding smite on it, and try to shoot him in the back.
My God. At this point, okay, Talum's gonna leap into action and stand in the way, and he's gonna say, "Enough!" Kind of like in between the two of you.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna shoot at him.
You are exactly what the Tabaxi say you are. All of you here, punching friends in the face, poisoning one another. Do you not think this land is made because of you? Do you not see why you are poisoned here? Because of the way you are. I made this feast for you, my friends. I knew that I would not be here in my new home were it not for you. That I would owe you at least what you gave me, a second chance. But what is it worth? Callie and I are happy here, safe here. But we are not safe if you are here. There is no reason for Talum to go with you off the island tomorrow. He thought maybe he would, but after seeing this, after this disgrace in front of the Tabaxi people, your own friends, when is it enough? Talum's gonna turn and like gesture to Callie like, let's leave. Like I'm just gonna walk off, I think.
Okay. He's easy
Yeah,
enough
I'm
to do.
still gonna shoot goal when he turned around.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that shot.
As he shoots goal, I am going to cure wounds, Ilyana.
Okay,
Oh, that's
easy enough.
all right. 16. Wait, yeah, 16.
That's my armor class. What are you shooting me with?
A gun.
Okay.
Okay, so 16 clanks, so he just sort of like blind sense dodges out of the way, shoots over the top of his shoulder.
I have Proteus. Can I like whistle for Proteus to knock Ileana over?
Sure. Good roll for an attack from Proteus.
6 points of health restored to Ilyana as I hold my staff over your face and your nose snaps itself back into place.
Gross.
14.
Does a 14 hit you, Ileana?
No, it does not. Well, yes, it does. But I will cast shield to block it.
Okay, so you block Proteus out of the way. At which point, the Tabaxi chieftain stands and says, "If there is violence to be done, it will not be done here. You will get on the ship tomorrow. I will get you to where you're going, and then you can figure this out. But my children, my women, they're not going to watch this nonsense. This blood among friends. It is either you stop this now, or you're out in the jungle with no boat tomorrow."
I'm gonna say before he says all that, I started to walk away. Talum said his piece, and I continued to walk away because of that. And then I did kind of maybe I heard the gun cocking, and I kind of dodged it. And I'm gonna say I just like stopped, and I never returned around. And I kind of in a, I can't believe you just fucking did that. And then I'm gonna keep walking off. In a obviously it's going to be obvious that I want to engage, but I choose not to because of what Talum said. And then the chief says his piece, and I'm going to say I'm walking away even at that point.
I personally was attacked and then attacked again, so I will continue my retaliation and pull my gun on Proteus and shoot the dog.
Can I, as he's doing this, obviously not like before he does this, but as he's doing this, can I try and hold person him?
Yes, you can attempt to hold person. Go ahead and roll for that attack on Proteus.
That's a natural 20.
Okay.
Oh my God. If he's going through with this, then I'm gonna try to like. He can't shoot the dog.
Hold on. I do companion protection. I'm gonna use my reaction to shield Proteus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How does that work?
Oh. She already rolled. I think it hits me instead. It just. Wait. Oh, yeah. So even though it's a natural 20, it would just drop my armor class by my. Goodness. I'll just take front of the attack.
Okay, you step in front of the attack. How much damage does Aiken suffer?
Wait, is that how the ability works? Because I don't want to shoot Aiken.
Oh yeah, that's how the ability works. It's the companion protector. Like if one of us gets attacked, we take it.
That is going to be 8 points of fire damage. And then
Is this with your gun?
Yes.
Very nice.
9 force, and then another 5 force, or another 5 radiant, and then another 5 on top of that.
What's the
I
total?
know I said I was walking away. Sorry.
8 plus 9 plus 5 plus 5. 27.
7.
Okay.
I kind of just imagine you aim down and I throw my shoulder in front, blows through my shoulder, leaving blood on my white sleeve.
All right. Go ahead and roll for that hold person save.
Wisdom save.
So I swear to God, I'm not faking. I really want to get that out of the way. But that is the second natural 20 in a row, and this is the worst time for that luck to happen because it seems like I would just be like, oh my God, no natural 20. But I swear to God, I did. I don't know.
All right. You resist it, and I will say that a number of Tabaxi warriors immediately spring into action, spears at the ready, and surround all of you.
I want to try to take the gun away from him. I know I said I was walking away, but if he actually fires it, even after I've turned, I'd like to go take the gun from him if I can.
I'm gonna say, I'm done if you are.
I should be a very good distance away at this point. I was making all efforts to try to thwart my reaction to kill her. I'm at least like 20, 30 feet away. But if they are attempting to corral me, then I wouldn't resist either.
They seem to just be corralling people currently seeming like they're killing each other.
I'm just going to stop and turn and look then at what's going on. And I'm going to look at Talum. If he makes eye contact with me, I'm going to look at him like, basically, I'm sorry, I thought I did the right thing.
All right.
I think Talum's just like,
As Ilyana, you say that if they're done, you're done. Well, the chief says, "We're done."
Good.
All right.
was I able to take the gun? I want to.
You
Unless
can physically attempt to like remove it from his hands, but I'm assuming Ilyana's not just handing over her gun here.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
So it would be like a strength to strength to attempt to disarm.
I mean, it doesn't seem like a good idea. I'm gonna say, Ilyana, give me that weapon now.
No. I'm done. Sling it over my shoulder.
I'm gonna step a little bit closer to Ilyana. There was a time when I thought maybe we were friends.
Oh, don't get started, Talum. Each one of the people here have been plotting against me this whole time. I don't want to hear it anymore. I've done what you asked for too long now to just sit
I will
and
keep
listen.
it simple for you. If you hurt anyone else here, I will kill you myself.
And what of me? What about when your friend decided to punch me in the face? I'm sure that was completely reasonable. It wasn't, by the way. It wasn't. And I retaliated. The dog attacked me. I retaliated. Nothing I've done has been in aggression. The whole poisoning bit, I had the cure for him the whole time. Nobody cares. They just hate me. Ask anybody. I'm not.
Salem will let you have the last word, but tomorrow, when you are on the boat sailing away, you will also have the last act, and we will be done for good.
Does not bother me. You've condemned me to this place anyways, Talum. I didn't want to come here, if you recall.
Salem knows this, and he is sorry for the pain he may have caused you and others. But you wouldn't know that because you did not give him the time to apologize before lashing out and poisoning your friends. I will not stand here and argue with you any further.
I'm not the attacker here, Talum. Everything I just did was retaliation. Would you stand
I'm just
idly
gonna
by if your livelihood was attacked? You're not now,
I'm just
so I'd
gonna
assume you would not.
turn and walk away from him. If it seems like he's just gonna keep talking and like in circles, I just kind of turn and walk away from him.
Okay.
And I am gonna go get my axe actually and like have it with me, and then probably just go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that like as you grab the axe, like Callie sort of like looks down at it and like seems you know, it seems Callie is less of a fan of you when you have the axe for sure. She just
I
like
think
nods.
Talim's yeah, he's less of a fan of himself. Like it's under his bed, and I think he sits at his bed for a minute with his arms on it, kind of like, and then like leans under and gets the axe back out, basically.
All right. And then after an exceedingly awkward dinner, I will assume that you all bed down for the evening.
I would like to go find Goal.
Okay.
Aiken will, of the moment everyone's talking, like push the tabaxi aside and like have them, but I'd like head for the beach water. Proteus.
Okay, you do. We'll start with Father T and goal.
Goal.
Father T.
You need to trust me less. It seems you take much of what I say as absolute fact. But in reality, I am just as human as anyone else here. I have just as many secrets and lies as any other member of this party, and it's not fair for me to let you continue on taking my word as blind truth. I appreciate what you did for me. I appreciate that you were willing to come to blows with Ileana for me. But the truth is, I deserved the poisoning, and that's why I ate the poisoned meal. I am just as much to blame as Ileana this scenario. I'm not infallible either.
I'm gonna say that Father T walked up on goal while he was meditating and trying to calm himself, and still in the same meditative state, sitting with his eyes shut. I very much appreciate your words. However, right or wrong as my actions may be, trust was betrayed. And betrayed for the wrong reasons. I was willing to help Ileana. She was obviously emotionally charged and lacking of sleep. And I don't disagree with what she wanted to do, radical as it may have been. And I would have helped her. But I disagreed with the haste in which it was being done. I also disagree with what I view to be a childish retaliation. You took it, but it was wrong. Wrong to give, in my opinion, wrong of you to accept. Were we not have been, had we not have been in a different setting, I would have killed her where she stood. It would not have been appropriate. A punch in the face was the least that I could do.
If that's show. Oh, I'm sorry.
I see now that even perhaps that was wrong, as I have greatly offended one of the best friends that I've ever had. Though I don't feel like it was wrong, the reaction very negative. And though Ileana has been part of this party, I fear I can no longer trust her. I do not know how to proceed at this point, so I am trying to relax myself, lower my heart rate, and understand the situation. Because at the very least, it would appear we're going to share a boat ride. I don't think of you as innocent, Father T. We all have skeletons in our closet. Indeed, I may as well, with my tendencies towards violence to solve problems. But those skeletons exist. I try not to judge people by them. I have not truly trusted Ileana or Siegfried from the get-go. However, I've tried to give them benefit of the doubt and try to understand them more. And now, as I've exposed them as some blue creature that I've not able to identify, I have even more questions and even less trust. I do not know what to do, but I'm not so quick to forgive as you were, as you are. You were quite obviously a bigger person than I, and perhaps that is something for me to strive towards, despite your claims at being more nefarious than you suggest that I think you are.
If that is all true, I need you to know now that you should not trust me. I try to do what is right, day by day. I have tried my whole life to do that, and I will continue striving to do that, but I have done wrong. And every moment that I exist, my existence, my appearance, is a lie. Lose your faith in my truth now, because although I do not feel comfortable revealing more, Ileana and Siegfried, in form, have certain similarities to myself. That is all.
Well, I have to say, Father T, you aren't making it hard to distrust you as you are speaking in such vague terms as Ileana herself. It appears that my friend Talum is the only one that I can truly trust. I do not think ill of you, but I will take you at your word and not trusting you. You can rest assured.
Thank you. That's all I ask. And then I will leave that situation. I guess I'll try to find Talum if he's still awake or if nobody else is doing anything.
Well, we'll skip over to Aiken as he was heading to the water.
Oh, yeah, there's not much to it. I am going to on the beach, right at the shoreline, pack my bow in the sand so it's standing up next to me, and have Proteus hold there.
Sorry, you cut out there. Proteus hold.
Oh yes, um, hold the bandages like in a straw line as I wrap it around my shoulder.
Proteus kind of like rubs up against you, acknowledging the fact that you may well have saved his life there.
his head, his little bony head.
Yep. All right. Uh, so you're seeking out Talum as well, Father T?
Indeed.
Okay. I mean, I'll say that you are aware of where he is sleeping. If you'd like to go see if he's awake.
I will go see if he is awake.
Talum, are you awake?
Yeah, I think he's probably sitting in the dark, like on the edge of his bed with his axe behind him.
Okay.
He's kind of hands folded in his lap.
Talum,
Come in.
you seem quite upset, and I don't blame you.
It's peaceful here, no?
The most peaceful out of any place I've ever been. I do not blame you for wanting to stay. I only can ask as a friend for you to reconsider.
And what would we do?
Good, wherever we may find it. I'm on a mission to change the world, to make it more like this haven that you found here. But it
Goal
won't
often
work without
says
strong. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello. Did we lose Steven?
I think he froze.
Well, that's unfortunate timing.
So sad. I just want to give everyone's characters a hug.
I know. Rough one, boys.
What'd you say? You feel like everyone's character is a.
I need to give everyone's character a hug.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not Father T, just Will Carlos.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
You're good.
Okay.
Would you like to pick up where you left off there?
Yeah. Goal often says that you speak in false words. You do not say what you mean. Neither does Siegfried or Ileana. The truth is, Talum is tired. He's tired of fighting. He's tired of not knowing what is good, what is bad. He's tired of constant gray. If you want Talum to go with you, he can make no promises, but you must speak plainly to him. You must tell Talum who you are, what you want. You say you want to change the world. Many men have said this, I think. What do you mean?
Can you keep a secret? A secret so important that my life depends on it?
Especially then. But like I said, Talum can make no promises that he will go with you tomorrow.
I understand. If you stay, that means the secret will stay here with you, which will put it out of harm's way. So either way, it is seemingly a safe bet to tell you. You see, I am not as I present myself. Physically, I am old. I have this gray hair, this wrinkly skin, and that is not me. That is not who I am. My real name is Toro Balshire. I come from one of the cities in the sky.
Could we all hear this? Is it gonna sway how we feel?
Yeah, should Will and I go in our separate room or something, or like?
Perhaps. Everyone leave the call, maybe. Hello.
Mara.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. So, you guys all get your rest for that evening. It's you know, some of you have better night's sleeps than others, I'm sure, but the morning does find you all another beautiful day in paradise here in the Tabaxi village, and it is the day of your leaving. You have been told that the boat is leaving like just before noon. So if there's anything you guys want to do in the morning, otherwise we can fast forward to that.
We'll say, uh, Aiken on the beach. Um, They passed out and woke up a little early to get his stuff out of the quarters or the tent that we're staying in. Help prep the boat.
Easy enough. You're able to, get up a little bit earlier than everybody else. You bedded down, had a nice sleep on the beach. You wake up to the comforting feel of like water, high tide like coming in and hitting your toes. Feels lovely.
Always.
I'm gonna seek out Talum in the morning to make amends and find out his final decision.
Okay. I'll say that you guys all sort of gather in the morning, around sort of prepping your things. The village isn't that big, so you're all sort of, semi close to each other. As goal, you walk up to Talum.
Can I ask really quick before this happens? What does Callie want? Like ultimately, what does she want? Does she want to stay here? Is she cool? Is she pretty flexible on whatever? After last night, did that change her perspective? Would she stay here if I left?
That's a good question. I think that she tends to avoid the question, but if you really press her, she would probably say that her most important thing is being with you. But she is very happy here. And if that meant, you know, if that meant staying here forever, she'd be more than happy with that. If you were to leave on a boat, she could do that too. But she's less sure that she wants to do that. But that said, she'd probably be willing to stay here without you as well. She seems relatively flexible.
All right. Okay.
So, goal, you approach Talon. What do you say?
My friend. I just kind of present myself that way.
Good morning. I kind of slap him on the arm.
I'm sorry if I embarrassed you. I was only doing what I thought was right.
It's okay. These things can be tricky, right and wrong. Who really knows? But
Do you intend to stay here?
I guess Talon like looks around for like a long minute.
My friend,
you
you do what you think is right. I will be getting on the boat. You know my life's journey, my philosophy. Your decision should not be swayed by that. Were I to never see you again, I would consider myself richer for having known you. And Shar will show me the way, as she always has. And I can think of no greater loss than the loss of a friend. But if that is to what I'm experienced, that's what is to be, then so be it. I feel ashamed to have embarrassed you, though I would do it all over again, the same as I am incensed by the betrayal that was to be.
Salem thinks that meeting all of you was a blessing from Jar, or the gods maybe of some kind. Without you, Salem would not have been able to find Callie. He would not have been able to find this place with his people. He would not have felt the way he thinks he's supposed to feel. And he's gonna like turn and like look at Callie maybe in the distance and say, "It is because of this that Salem cannot go with you. He will stay for now with Callie in his home. But you need to look after Father T and tell Aiken to take care of him as well. And the dog." But I will not let all of you leave before saying goodbye. Am I around everyone or just Goal? I can't hear you, Logan.
Sorry, I'm muted.
Okay.
I get the impression that everyone is, relatively close by, but not in the conversation. Like if you wanted to call out to them, they're, nearby enough.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I will say to everyone then, like, my friends, it is with a heavy heart that Talum thinks he must stay behind, and that your journey with him is coming to an end. I cannot thank you enough, and if I could repay what you have given, I would. But my place, I think, is here.
We like getting ready to get on the boat.
Not for a couple hours.
Oh shit.
Well, I mean, we can skip to that if we prefer it to be right before. I mean,
Well, I was gonna say if we're like getting ready to get on the boat, then I'm basically gonna say you will never be forgotten, my friend. And I'm gonna offer a handshake, and then I'm gonna pull that into a hug. And while I'm squeezing out a tear or two and trying not to show it.
Manly tears. Yeah, same. Same here. I'll give Aiken a firm handshake as well if he's present. Are you there or are you at the beach?
he came to collect all the stuff in the morning, so I'm assuming he's here.
Gotcha. I bid you farewell, Aiken. It is not what I expected, to be honest, but I thought it would be good for you to continue. What Talum is trying to say is, if I were to go with you, there is a good chance I would get more finishing kills than you, and you would not be happy with this. It is best for you to continue getting kills, and I will stay with the cropping of the plants and the cooking of the monster meat. And
Life isn't as simple as I think it. Strong feeling. Again. Fixed. Now.
Salem hopes this as well.
Get in. Do one shoulder pat.
Bro hug.
I'm gonna have given like both Goal and Aiken like a little bag of like that seasoning that I had, like the herbs and the seasoning and just like the spices and like the really good and the handshake thing. I'll do that. give them one of those.
Do you like do a bro hug? You like tuck it in the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and winces at his wounds.
But I'll probably like compete. Like if you like are doing like the stronger you like tighten your hand, the stronger I'll like tighten my hand. You know, like so just like, do one of those things.
Aiken will try, but is not feeling the best after, you know.
You're a good one. He like hits him on the back. I'll seek out the other two, or if they're right there, I'll just walk right up to him and Father T. I wish you well on your journey, your endeavors, whatever they may be. Good luck. And I'm gonna give him like a handshake hug also. Little spice bag in there.
Oof, careful, Talum. I am quite weak. Frail.
Indeed, I'm gonna squeeze him like pretty hard. Like you're tougher than you look.
On the inside, maybe, but really, physically, I'm quite frail. I have nothing I can give you, but please keep my secret. And I will leave you with this, which will only last a short while. And I will cast Bless upon him. I hope it guides you your time here.
Salem thinks it will be a good day today. Thank you, Father. I'm gonna walk up to is it Ileana or Siegfried today?
Ileana.
I'll walk up to Ileana. Good. I prefer Ileana. Personally. Well, I'm not going to go. Despite whatever differences we may have or mistakes we may have made, Salem is sorry. He does wish you well.
I don't care. You've you've used me, and now you're abandoning us. You're a bastard. That's how I view you. I don't care what your view of me is. You've led me to places I didn't want to go and made me do things I didn't want to do, and now you're, when the oven is hot, getting out of the kitchen while you still can with your hands clean.
Salem is sorry you feel this way, and he still wishes you well.
I'm sorry you'll never be smart enough to understand the pain you put us all through.
So, come on. Come on.
Salem he just like smiles. The ale. Salem will never forget the ale that you gave him.
You mean the gift that I extended, my friendship that you never repaid, and when I finally
God.
open up to you, you shut me away, showing to myself and to everyone else that if I were to ever open up with anybody, all it will end with is me being hurt, and you led me here and then mad that I embarrassed you in front of your new friends, your new family. I don't care
Yes,
what you
that is
remember
the ale.
about me.
That is the ale I am talking about. That is farewell,
Yep,
Ileana.
no one.
That is the ale.
One day, if I can help it, I'll burn this whole village to the ground with you inside it. Callie, too.
My God.
It is one thing to offend
I
you,
don't
to
care
offend.
about you, and you are refusing to engage me in an adult intellectual conversation at this moment. So did I finally get your attention? Are you willing to talk now?
Pass off and like go look for one of the sailors.
Sure.
I look at everyone else. I wish you all good luck with this one. Look at Ileana.
Who all is present right now?
I'd imagine all of you, except for now Aiken, sort of making his way out.
Well, I mean, who else as far as Tabaxi goes?
Oh, I mean, there are tabaxi like around, but I would say that they're like intruding on your conversation or anything, unless you say something directly to them.
Other women and children present?
I mean, not directly around you, but yeah, in the village there are for sure.
But I mean, like within eye shot or.
Yeah, I mean around. Yeah, sure.
What's Salem doing?
I just basically tell everyone else in the party, good luck with this one, and I kind of like gesture to Ileana. I will take you to the boats and see you off if you are prepared.
I want to put my hand on the handle of my sword, and I'm gonna look at Talum.
Do I see him doing this?
Roll perception check, I guess. Are you trying to hide it, Goal? I mean,
No,
Only an 8.
an 8. I would say you still see it. You know, he's not hiding it, so seems like he's
I'm
pretty
gonna
clearly grabbing the sword.
I'm gonna like put my arm in front of Goal and say sort of quietly to him, "This is not the place. Ileana is offending, but it will be even more of an offense on your last moments with Talum if you interrupt the peace now.
I'm
Perhaps
gonna
wait
take a
until the end."
I'm gonna take a really deep breath, and I'm gonna say, Talum said I should take care of you and to be with you, despite your illicit warnings. I will trust your judgment, though I am in opposition of it. And I'm just gonna walk as if we're gonna get on the boat. I'm just gonna stay on. I'm gonna be like as far as Ileana from the boat as I can be.
All right. The rest of you all getting on board.
Stop.
I will, and before my last steps, while I'm still on land, I will look Talum into his eyes and say, in Tabaxi, his own native language, "You're a betrayer, a bastard, and a coward." I'm gonna go onto the boat.
All right. As the other Tabaxi sailors like overhear this, they just sort of like, you know, consider it a bit odd as they push off into the open seas beyond, and that is where we're gonna have to pick up next time. Holy shit, boys! What a session! Sheesh! I can't believe you did it, Steven. You actually did it.
What just happened? That wasn't the plan. Not really.
Makes the most sense though.
It does. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for the record, what I told you to try and convince you, I was trying to offer you a way to stay if you wanted to. So I'm glad that the story is done, that you decided what you did.
This is usually not how we say goodbye to a character. There's usually more death,
Yeah.
and it's usually Will's.
Yeah, it is.
No,
Suppose
Steven,
it's
are you
nice to
gonna
have
make
some
another
last
character then?
words. I already have. I was kind of
Dang.
suspecting that Taylor might stay behind, but I wasn't
Imagine
totally sure,
Steven.
honestly.
Steven's just out. No, you're done this campaign, buddy. Better luck next time.
Actually, guys, I am going to be done playing D&D for about 6 months, so I'm just kidding. That was a lie. That was me being deceptive.
What?
Dan's face. Dan's like, what? No, I will be here, but I do have another character that I've rolled, but I got to figure that out, I guess, really, what that's all about. So
We're gonna have
Well,
to
one.
do a solo session or something, like an hour to talk.
Eric, you hurt my feelings, man.
Touche. Same here. I don't know what to tell you.
But his feelings hurt. It's more like melancholic goodbye. That was just like straight wrath and like.
Just evil.
Listen, man. I gave you a shot in there, and yeah, I'm out for blood now.
You shot and you tried to shoot a dog.
Yeah, objectively a terrible, horrible thing to do. However, I made a commitment. I was like, am I gonna old yeller this son of a bitch? God damn it.
Oh my
Try to.
god.
You tried to.
I just want to say, I speak to Baxi, and I rolled a 19.
To hear what he said.
No, to draw my sword and attack. So we can leave it at that. But
Oh shit. I'm
Wait,
getting
you're
stabbed?
attacking him like as you're getting on the boat?
I'm getting
Yep.
stabbed?
not fucking around anymore.
Logan just.
Man. Oh man.
Alright, fuck it, I guess.
My campaign is in tatters.
I'll tell you.
What has happened? Jeez.
Oh,
It's just not.
Juliana's